Welcome to the Dance Studio Empire podcast, a mix of business strategies, simple tips for studio growth and success, with a touch of inspiration, motivation, plus raw and honest conversations to ensure you are building your studio empire. I'm your host, Jen Dalton, studio owner for 30 years, dance business coach, and the author of the book, Teaching Dance Beyond the Steps. My business philosophy is creativity is our superpower, and I believe we all have the means and ability to infiltrate this into our studio. Just sometimes we can get too busy, distracted, or overwhelmed to see that. So that is exactly why I am here to help you. So if you are ready to master the art of creating demand, unravel the dance of numbers in your studio, and run your business to its full potential, then you are in the right place. Okay, let's do this. Sit back and relax, and let's get ready to build your dance studio empire. Well, hello there, dance fam, and welcome back to this week's episode of the podcast. I am here off the back of our concerts, which we just held over the weekend. It was huge. It was ridiculously successful, and I am super proud of how it all went off, which I have to say is a credit to my team, particularly my manager, who carried, so much of the load. How we do it is all over one weekend. So we have all our rehearsals, all of our concerts, and we run 4 concerts. And so we start Friday afternoon, we start with some rehearsals, then we go into Saturday morning rehearsals, 3 concerts, then we're back Sunday for a rehearsal, and our big concert on Sunday afternoon, which ends in the evening. So it is a massive, massive weekend. I do consciously choose to do it this way because I feel like things are getting so busy for families that if I can keep it all on one weekend, it is more likely that there will be less drama, less complaints, and so far, that's how it's worked, and it has worked really well. And if I have a family saying, oh, it's such a big weekend, I just come back and say, well, I could spread it over several weekends, but we tend to find that families prefer just committing to that one weekend. And so I'm happy to say that's how it works for us, and it was great, really, really great. But on the flip side of that, now that that's gone, I've had time to sit back and after recovering, I'm doing a little bit of reflecting and thinking about the new year. So as you know, I'm right into planning. It is time right now to be planning 2024, and it's quite exciting actually, if I'm being honest with you. But it got me thinking about my predictions that I think for our industry as we move into 2024, and I just thought I would share them with you. So having been in the dance industry for 30 years, I've seen its evolutions. And I can tell you that change is not only inevitable, but it really is essential, both for your personal and business growth, because the change actually gives you opportunity to then create that profitable, scalable, and sustainable studio, which we need to start focusing not only for you yourself, but for your own family as well as your dance family. And so I think it's just a really great time to focus in on what we can be looking at and how we can be moving forward to give this to yourself. At the moment, I'm sure you're feeling it, but there are big shifts on the horizon, and we're talking from teachers, like retaining them, finding them, from costume costs, the economic impacts on families that we're probably all feeling. And of course, there's this ever-looming threat of burnout before the dance year even begins. So what's the game plan? Okay, before I go into the predictions, I just would love to offer some advice. First up, with everything. So with everything that's coming, or the changes, the challenges that come with a new year, I just suggest that you don't bury your head in the sand and hope that everything just magically falls into place. We have to face these challenges head on. Now, whether this is finding and keeping your teachers, or dealing with the economic situation with your families, or preventing burnout, we have to acknowledge it. We have to just look at these challenges straight on, because I promise they're not going to go away if we ignore them, unfortunately, but we need to do this. The next thing is you just have to take action. You can't keep consuming information. You can't sit on the sidelines, scrolling, whinging, and complaining. You just have to get in because that's the game. So even if you don't feel like you're 100% ready, if you're waiting for that perfect moment, it's not coming. So you can keep waiting, but your business will stop growing. You just have to get in and take action and make some moves. Even if they're not textbook perfect, it is about doing something, tweaking it, and then just making it work. This is the game. This is the game of business. And then the last bit of advice, moving into 2024, we have to just get specific. You need to find out specific answers for your specific situation. Gone are those days where it's one size fits all. When you're ready to make a change, generic advice just won't cut it anymore. You need guidance that resonates with you and your unique circumstances. The cookie cutter strategies, they might work in the beginning, which is fine, and they're great to get started. But for those who are aiming for real transformation, personalized advice is the key to your success. Not just your success, but faster. You're going to get there faster when it is personalized for you. All right, so that's it for my advice. So now as I move forward, the phrase that I want to start with, which is one that I'm taking with me into 2024, and this really encompasses it all, is that as we move into 2024, we need to embrace a different perspective. So thinking outside the box, getting uncomfortable, and challenging everything that you think you know, because this will be your game changer if you can think like this. Okay, let's talk about my predictions for the dance industry in 2024. Sit back, get ready, because it's about to get real. Okay, the first prediction I have is to know your numbers. Now, knowing your numbers will be the accelerator for growth in 2024. From attracting new students, converting inquiries into enrollments, to retaining those new ones, as well as retaining your existing dancers, it is all coming down to your numbers. I'd also really encourage you to keep an eye on your income and your expenses and your profit margins. Sometimes we shy away from these numbers, I get it, but these are the differences that are going to move you ahead of everybody else around you. So knowing these is where your potential starts. It's basically, as I said, your ticket for staying ahead of the competition. The second prediction I have is that you will need to be restructuring your offers. It is time to shake things up. So we need to think of ways to do things differently to what you would normally do. And I know we get comfortable with what we do, we get comfortable with what we know, but we have to change things up because the time is changing at the moment with all these things that are happening. So this may look like changing your payment structure. If your parents are struggling to pay in bulk, like say they pay per term, maybe you need to offer an alternative of going through fortnightly payments or weekly payments. Maybe you need to have a look at the structure of your classes on the timetable. If you are finding families are not enrolling for as many classes because they don't want to commit, and it could be financial reason, maybe if you restructure the way you have your classes set on your timetable. So instead of having 4 individual classes in a row, what if you block them into an hour and a half and change it up each week with the different styles? Something like that. I'm trying to get you to think. Also, what are some clever ways that you could do your costuming that will help reduce the cost for your families and for yourself? Because as you know, if you're living it right now, costuming is just so much more expensive than it used to be. And even covering costs is getting harder. So what is it you can do? I have been having some chats with some studio owners and they're coming up with some really creative ideas. So it might be something that you should think about with your team as well. Because of the challenges we're now currently facing, there are things that can change. We just sometimes get so stuck in what we know, and we see other studios doing it, and we just don't even think about those possibilities. So I certainly do encourage you to have a think about that, because I think moving forward, that is something that is going to keep you ahead of everybody else. Okay, number 3, communication. Communication is going to be key going into next year. In this age of curiosity and wanting value for their financial and time commitment, communication is paramount. Now, I'm talking about the parents here. Parents are just simply more engaged than ever. They're eager to know about their child's progress, their behavior, that overall experience that they're having. They want to know that they're having a great time. So the more communication, the better way we communicate with the families is going to put them more at ease. Now, whether this is through apps like Band is a great one. You can update that with photos and videos and blogs. You can keep things all in one space for your families to be able to access, or whether it's a personalized text or email. Like, I know emails are tricky because we're finding parents aren't reading emails. I get that. I live it too. I understand. We have to just, again, find those ways to keep communication at the top of our list, and transparent communication, because this is then going to ease parental concerns and build that trust a lot faster. And when you have that trust built, the faster you build that trust, your parents will stop asking as many questions. They will stop being as needy, and they will trust you. They'll hand over their money if you ask. They will come to extra rehearsals if you ask them. So that's the benefit of building up the trust, and you will be doing that through communication. Okay, the fourth thing is, in 2024, you need to shift your focus from constantly seeking new families to nurturing and loving on your current students. So in 2024, I encourage you to focus on retention. I really feel that's going to be the area of growth. Increasing that value of existing students is a game changer. Don't worry what other studios are doing. Just focus in on yourself. You need to trust your instincts. Listen to those conversations in your studio, and then let that guide your actions and your offers. Okay, so that needs to be a focus for 2024. And finally, the fifth one is collaboration over competition. Now, this one is more specifically for dance studio owners who are running and building their studios. Here's the secret sauce for my prediction in 2024. It is collaboration over competition. So imagine a network of like-minded studio owners sharing wins, sharing challenges, even sharing contacts. The power of the collective minds, the creativity, and the unwavering support when we all come together is a game changer. So for me, I like to call it, and I call ours in our community, a creative collective. It's our creative collective. There's no cliques, there's no toxicity or jealousy. It's just a community of hard-working studio owners for working together for the common goal of running and building their empire. And honestly, this is where the magic happens. Running a studio, I don't need to tell you this, running a studio can be a really lonely journey, and being in a community really can help along the way. There are going to be times when you're really happy and things are going well, but then on the flip side, there are going to be times when you're having challenges, when awful things happen. You might lose a loved one, or you might lose a team member, or you might, your venue may be taken away from you. Like, there's real things that can be thrown at you out of nowhere, and having a community to support you is invaluable at that time. All right, there you have it. As we step into 2024, it's not just about adapting. It's about thriving, but we're going to have to do that by embracing change, by being aware, taking action, and seeking that personalized advice. And those predictions for 2024 is to stay ahead. You want to know your numbers. You want to restructure your offers. You want to know that communication is going to be the key. Number 4 is focusing on that retention. So focus on who you've got currently. Of course, you will still be bringing in new students. I'm not saying that, but you need to just spend some time loving up on the ones you have. And the 5th one is collaboration over competition. Okay, are you ready to go forth? I think you are. It's a great time now. I know people are still finishing up their concerts and finishing out their dance year. But I truly encourage you to start thinking about 2024 because it will benefit you in the long run. All right. Now, if this podcast has piqued your interest and you would like to dive a little bit deeper into a conversation about this topic, as a Christmas gift to this community throughout December, I'm going to be offering a free studio audit for anyone who wants to truly create a profitable, scalable, and sustainable studio in 2024. Remember, doing this is not just for yourself, but it's for your own family as well as your dance family. Now, the link to register for this is below in the show notes, or you can DM me on Instagram at _JenDalton_. Get in now. The thing with this, it is that I'm only offering over a short period of time. There are limited spots with what I can fit in my schedule. But I would, as I said, I would just love to offer this to you as a bit of a Christmas gift. So if it is something that you think you would be interested in, I would jump in straight away and start booking in because those spots will fill up. Okay, that is it. Fam, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a really great week and I look forward to being in your ears next week. And that's a wrap for this week's episode. I'm so grateful to have you listen each week. If you found today's episode valuable, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could take a moment to rate, 5 stars of course, and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback empowers me to keep delivering insightful content. To ensure you never miss an episode, hit that subscribe button and be sure to follow me on Instagram at _JenDalton_ and join our private Facebook group, Dance Studio Empire. Until next time, keep dancing, keep thriving, and keep building your dance studio empire.